You know what? When I was an undergrad, I asked my cultural anthropology professor, Dr. Jill Nash, what is creativity from your perspective? Marci, she said, creativity is bad manners. Imagine doing something creative at the dinner table. What happens? You get your hand slapped. That's what creativity is. Where do we learn this? There was research that was done that's really, this fellow, his name is Ron Beghetto, who was an educational researcher, and he took a look at what was happening in classrooms, and I don't want you to blame teachers, okay? Don't do that. What's happening in classrooms, the teachers' behaviors, that influences the expression of creativity in the students. And you know what he found? You ready? You'll be very surprised at this. That when a student gives an unexpected response, it's dealt with quite differently than is an expected response. Does that ever happen to you? You give an unexpected response, and what do people say? Get out of here. Okay, so what happens is with the kids and the teacher really means well, and he or she is really busy, and we heard about these curriculums and the guidelines and all these things, reviewing the lessons and to get ready for the test the next day, and what happens? One student raises his hand and gives an unexpected response. And how does the teacher react to that? Might say, gee, that's interesting. We'll talk about that later. Later never comes. Or, you must have been missing that day. Or, who's got the right answer? Now, what I found fascinating is that Beghetto called this intellectual hide and seek. And he said that by the time we finish high school, we become expert in playing intellectual hide and seek. Think about it. An authority figure asks you a question, what's your first response? Drop your eyes. I don't want to get picked on. I don't want to lose face. I don't want to look stupid. And that not wanting to look stupid goes even further. When new ideas are asked for, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to rock the boat. I don't want to jeopardize my sense of self-esteem, my security with the group that I'm here. I don't want people to think that I know less than what it is that I know, so we keep quiet. And that it's really a shame if you think about it, because the challenges that face us now, I mean, not all the answers are at the back of the book. It's important for us to feel comfortable and confident discovering, exploring, asking new questions, checking out our curiosity. But if there's always that fear of the hand slap, where's that going to get us? You know? And if you think about it, I don't know if you're familiar with the research that IBM did back in 2010. They talked to 1,500 CEOs worldwide, and those CEOs, 60% of them at least, said that creativity is a skill that's necessary for navigating the complexities of the future. Okay? In 2012, Adobe did a study. I don't know if you're familiar with this one either. And what they discovered among the 5,000 individuals they spoke with in Europe, in Asia, and in the US, is that these folks are saying, you know what? Creativity is needed in order to support the economy and to build it. And you know what else, which is really kind of sad? 75% said that they were asked more to be productive at work rather than to be creative. Yet, creative ideas are being asked for again and again and again and again. So we don't reward unexpected responses. Adobe did another study a couple years later and discovered that companies that embraced creativity, you ready for this? Were number one in their field, were considered best places to work, outshone the competition. So like, what's the scoop here? Huh? What's the scoop? Why is it that when we get new ideas, we swat them away as if they're pesky flies? You know why, I think? It's because we love to criticize. It is so cool. Somebody gives us an idea, and we expect that idea that they've given us to be the final solution, right? We're not expecting conversation here. Someone gives us an idea, and we just slap it away. Because why? It doesn't match with our experience. It doesn't match with our values. They haven't been able to read our mind well enough, so we just shoot it away. But a friend of mine who invented Continental, Steve Grossman, I remember him saying that not all ideas are good ideas, but not all bad ideas are worthless. We like criticizing ideas so much that we have a mascot for that. You know what that mascot is? Devil's advocate. You know the devil's advocate? And it wouldn't surprise me if one or two of you here enjoy playing the devil's advocate, am I right? You might be in a meeting and you go, let me play devil's advocate here, right? Well, if there's balance in the universe, and if there's a devil's advocate, then there must also be an angel's advocate, right? And what does the angel's advocate do? The angel's advocate is willing to enter into a conversation. The angel's advocate hears an idea, and first stage is affirms the idea. Now, sometimes that really requires a great deal of creativity because you may not like the idea that you hear, right, as the angel's advocate, yet you do the best that you can to say, what I like about it is X. And then you take it a step further and say, what I like about it for the future positive potential I see for this is Y. Not why, but why. The third step is when the objections and the cautions come in. This is not a Pollyanna approach. Now, let's just back up a little. And what happens when we use the angel's advocate? I give you an idea, you criticize it immediately, I shut down, right? But you say you want another idea, I give you one, and you say not that one, and I shut down, right? And this happens in brainstorming all the time, doesn't it? Well, we like ideas, just not that one, okay? With the angel's advocate, what happens is, I give you an idea, you say, oh, what I like about it is, and my soul is like, oh, good, I'm feeling affirmed, personally. When you say what you like about it for the future potential, it's like, wow, okay, yeah, this can really go somewhere. And now I'm in an emotional place. I've been affirmed for what I've given you, and now you can say, and I've got a couple of cautions and watch-outs about this. We're talking about something that's going to cost a little bit more money than there is in the budget. Can you figure out a way to make it cost a little bit less? And what we do then is strengthen the idea together and find some value in it and carry it through. Cool. The angel's advocate, 4 stages. A, affirm. F, future potential. O, objections. And S, like Sam, for strengthen. And it's a conversation. It's not, it's not like, have you ever done this, like the hit and run idea thing? Where you run by and say, here's the idea, shh, and you run away because you don't want to hear the stuff that's going to come later? When you offer up an idea, wouldn't it be great to also be open to a conversation about that idea and recognize that it's still very much in rough form? And what we can do is collaborate together to get all sides as part of the conversation, so whatever the initial inspiration is, we can work it and craft it together to make it something that we all want for the future that we want. The angel's advocate. Easy way to remember it is SOFA backwards, right? SOFA is S-O-F-A. Angel's advocate, A-F-O-S. Cool, isn't it? Could you imagine a world where you give ideas and they're treated like this? Now, I just want to let you know that when we talk about creativity in the field, we talk about it as novelty that is relevant. Personally, I like to talk about creativity in very simple ways, which is new ideas, new decisions, and new actions. And what's really cool is you don't have to be creative to do creative things, okay? Put 2 things together that have never been put together before, and voila, you'll come up with something new and something lovely. So at the beginning, I talked to you about creativity is bad manners. What if creativity was considered good manners instead?